What is going on, guys? The two best words for every sports fan? Game 7. But there's nothing that lets us down as much as a horrible Game 7, especially when the first 6 games were nothing short of epic. It's like fans of the iconic TV show Happy Days. You watched it for years and years hoping for the epic finale, and you're left saying, nope, never mind. That was horrible. Why didn't it just end sooner? That unfortunately also applies to Game of Thrones. I'm Jason Biondo, and today we present 10 great series that had a horrible Game 7. And a big shout out to T McGraw 17 for suggesting this video. Make sure to leave your video ideas down below. We'll be looking, and if we choose your idea, we'll give you a shout out in the video. Make sure to subscribe to TPS and put on your notifications because we post videos every single day. Every day's a new video, so subscribe. Number 10, 2012 Eastern Conference Finals. Boston Celtics vs Miami Heat. This was the final game for the Boston Celtics big three of Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, and Kevin Garnett. At this time, LeBron James had also yet to win his first NBA championship. Did the Celtics have one more big run in them? This series started out beautifully. Miami took the first 2 games. Boston rallied to win 3 in a row, including a Game 4 overtime thriller and Game 5 by just 4 points. Then Miami won Game 6 to force a deciding 7th game. It was all setting up for a wonderful finish. Well, not quite. Miami won Game 7 101-88, then crushed the OKC Thunder in the NBA Finals. Allen became public enemy number 1 in Boston after joining the Heat in the offseason. A tough end to Boston's incredible Big 3 era. Number 9, 2017 World Series. Dodgers vs Astros. The 2017 World Series featured a pair of teams that surpassed the 100-win mark. The Astros owned baseball's best offense in the regular season. They had to beat baseball's best pitching staff, led by Cy Young winner Clayton Kershaw, All-Star Yu Darvish, and world-class closer Kenley Jansen. The back-and-forth series saw Houston win a thrilling Game 2 in 11 innings. The teams then traded wins, and the Astros would take a 3-2 series lead after winning Game 5. The dramatic contest saw Houston win 13-12 in 10 innings. The Dodgers returned home and shut down Houston's offense, winning 3-1 in Game 6 and forcing a Game 7. But instead of an epic battle for the ages, we saw the total definition of a yawn fest, unless you're an Astros fan. The Astros won Game 7 by a score of 5-1. The game was pretty much over once they took a 5-0 lead in the second inning. The Dodgers never threatened to come back, leaving the drama lovers with a disappointing conclusion to an otherwise incredible series. Number 8, 1970 NBA Finals. Lakers vs Knicks. Each team was loaded with superstars, so of course this series required 7 games. The Knicks were led by the likes of Willis Reed and Walt Frazier. The series lived up to every bit of the hype. They split the first 4 games, that included overtime in Game 3 and 4. The Lakers and Knicks would also split Game 5 and 6. An epic Game 7 clash at Madison Square Garden was required. Winner take all for the championship. But yeah, this Game 7 was as one-sided as it gets. The Knicks won 113-99, and the game was never really within reach for the Lakers. Needless to say, it was a disappointing finish to a great series. Number 7, 2003 Stanley Cup Final. Devils vs Mighty Ducks. The Mighty Ducks of Anaheim were trying to get it done as hockey's ultimate underdog story. They swept the defending champion Detroit Red Wings in round 1, took down the top-seeded Dallas Stars in round 2, then finished off the Minnesota Wild with a 4-game sweep in the conference finals. Their opponent in the Stanley Cup Final, the New Jersey Devils, who were looking to win their 3rd title in 8 years and cement their status as a dynasty. This was the ultimate goaltending duo between Martin Brodeur and J.S. Giguère. Both put up historic performances, and it led to one incredible 7-game series. Trailing 2-0, Anaheim evened the series with overtime victories in Game 3 and 4. The Devils pulled away with a win in Game 5, but the Ducks evened the series and forced a Game 7 in New Jersey. Unfortunately, Game 7 was anything but exciting. The Devils shut down Anaheim all game long, running away with a 3-0 victory. Number 6, 1995 Eastern Conference Finals. Orlando Magic vs Indiana Pacers. Before the Chicago Bulls returned to their dynasty status in 1996, Eastern Conference supremacy was a battle between Shaquille O'Neal's Orlando Magic and Reggie Miller's Indiana Pacers. The future Hall of Famers were both looking to win their first NBA titles, and the two teams delivered an absolute classic. Orlando took advantage of, well, home advantage, winning games 1 and 2 by 4 and 5 points respectively. But the Pacers won Game 3 by 5 points and Game 4 by 1 point. This was a thriller, and it looked poised to go down to the wire. Shaq and Orlando barely held on for a 2-point victory in Game 5. The Pacers won Game 6 at home and forced the winner take all Game 7. Unfortunately, it turned out to be a complete dud, and Orlando ran away with an 105-81 victory. Number 5, 2011 World Series, Cardinals vs Rangers. The St. Louis Cardinals and Texas Rangers really defined Fall Classic when they squared off in the 2011 World Series. Texas was trying to win its first World Series championship. St. Louis was trying to win it all after an improbable run to the World Series as a wildcard team. The two clubs split Game 1 and 2, each decided by a single run. The Cardinals would take the series lead back in Game 3, but Texas rallied for victories in Games 4 and 5. On two different occasions in Game 6, Texas was a strike away from winning it all. The Cardinals rallied each time, and David Freese even walked it off in the bottom of the 11th. Final score, 11-10. Game 7 was going to be epic, right? Wrong. St. Louis ran away with a 6-2 victory, clinching their second World Series in 5 years. The Rangers are still searching for their first championship to this day. Number 4, 2009 Eastern Conference Semifinals. Pittsburgh Penguins vs. Washington Capitals. This was the first playoff meeting between Sidney Crosby and Alexander Ovechkin. Widely regarded as the two faces of the NHL after the 2004-05 lockout. Fans watched the two legends go back and forth in the 2009 postseason. Washington won each of the first 2 games by a single goal, including an epic Game 2 thriller in which both Crosby and Ovechkin scored hat tricks. Pittsburgh responded with victories in Game 3, 4, and 5. Washington stole Game 6 in Pittsburgh. Now this was a series, but side note, Games 3, 5, and 6 all went to overtime. Because, Crosby versus Ovechkin, like how do you even have a winner? So when it came to Game 7, the fans obviously expected theater, feet up, popcorn is ready, grab a beer, and yeah, a 6-2 win for Pittsburgh. Ovechkin's Capitals wouldn't beat Crosby's Pens in a playoff series until 2018. Only took him 4 tries. Number 3, 1974 NBA Finals, Bucks vs. Celtics. Any great NBA Finals showdown must consist of future Hall of Famers. The 1974 NBA Finals between the Milwaukee Bucks and Boston Celtics had just that. The Bucks were led by basketball icons Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Oscar Robertson. The Celtics took Game 1, but Milwaukee countered with an intense Game 2 victory. The team split Games 3 and 4, decided by 12 and 8 points. Boston won Game 5 and had a chance to clinch the title in Game 6, but Milwaukee won by a single point. Game 7 looked destined to be one for the ages, but it was all Boston. The Celtics powered to a 102-87 win with 28 points and 14 rebounds. Milwaukee just ran out of gas when they needed it most. Number 2, 2002 Western Conference Finals, Red Wings vs. Avalanche. The Colorado Avalanche and Detroit Red Wings had hockey's greatest rivalry in the late 90s and early 2000s. Each team claimed 2 Stanley Cups between 1996 and 2001. When they met in the Western Conference Finals, we fans expected a great final chapter to this rivalry. The two teams, loaded with Hall of Famers, kept alternating victories. The games were decided in overtime. The first 6 games were decided by no more than 2 goals. A close series indeed. Detroit fought off elimination and shut out Colorado 2-0 in Game 6. That sent the teams back to what was going to be an epic Game 7. Instead, Avalanche goalie Patrick Waugh didn't bother to show up. This game was over in minutes. The Red Wings ran away with a 7-0 victory. They'd go on to defeat the Carolina Hurricanes in the Stanley Cup Final. What a disappointing ending to what was at the time hockey's greatest and most entertaining rivalry. Number 1, 2004 ALCS, Red Sox vs. Yankees. Now this was still an exciting series, it was still nuts, and it was obviously historic. But this Game 7 sucked. It was pretty close to perfection in terms of entertainment value. So as you know, the Yankees won the first 3 games of the series. Boston rallied with walk-off wins at Fenway Park in Game 4 and 5. The Red Sox barely held on for a 4-2 victory in Game 6, forcing the winner take all Game 7. The Red Sox were trying to become the first team in MLB history to win a series when down 3-0. They did just that as the Yankees put up 0 fight in Game 7. We're sure Boston fans were thrilled about not only winning but simply pummeling their arch rivals in their own stadium. For the casual fan, however, Game 7 was a disappointing end to one of the best playoff series ever. Are there any other boring Game 7s that should have made our list? Join me in the comment section below. Make sure to follow myself and TPS on social media. We post great content all the time. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I post videos every single week, and they're so entertaining. It's great. If you want more of me, then you should go there. Make sure to subscribe to TPS because we post videos every single day. Every day is a new video. Subscribe. If you like this video, give it a like. It takes 1 click right down there. Smash that like button. Of course, thank you so much for watching. I'm Jason Biondo, and I'll see you next time.
My knee.